Hey guys, Jay here. Welcome to Models Memories Weekly, episode 105. Models Memories is a show about nothing, and it is filmed from the car, in the dark, in the rain, at the parking lot of Adepticon at about 7:30. We are here at Adepticon, and we are super excited for the Games Workshop showing off the new stuff at Adepticon. I'm pretty sure that is the official name. It starts at 8 o'clock and apparently goes until 10, but I am really excited. I always watch these things online. It'll be really interesting to see it in person, I guess live streamed too here in the America. But the last time, I think it was the LVO premiere, I had such a great time. It was super early in the morning. And I remember, logging on to Twitch and bringing up the Games Workshop Warhammer streaming, and then seeing the two nerds sitting there getting ready to show off all of the new miniatures, and the chat was going nuts, and we all just wanted to see the cool new models, but they kind of, they vamp and they talk about whatever they're going to talk about. And then finally they were, just to push things a little further, to keep the ball rolling, they said, so, where is everybody watching from? And this was one of my favorite moments in all of my Warhammer hobby, because I never felt so seen. I felt so much like I belonged there, because as soon as those nerds asked, where is everybody watching the Twitch stream from? 100 comments flew by. Every single one of them said, your mom's house. It was one of my favorite moments on Earth, and now I'm going to get to be there in person, and I am really excited. All right, so we just stepped out of the Warhammer preview, the live preview, and it was actually pretty good. I was really skeptical. I thought it was going to be identical to watching like this typical Twitch streams and stuff, but man, they kind of made it a production. It was actually really cool. We got to watch all the videos, we got to see all the new cool models, and we got to see them a little bit early, although not really, because by the time we got out of it, all the stuff is already available to look at from online, or it will be very soon. But man, some things I really liked, some things I was really indifferent towards, and a few things, one thing that really it kind of it didn't butter my biscuits, it didn't jingle my bells, it didn't jimmy my jams. But the most exciting thing by far was Warhammer 40,000 10th edition. Now I think we all saw it coming a mile away, especially because Games Workshop teased it with the Space Marine Terminator and the regular old Gaunt. But there is for sure going to be a Warhammer 40k 10th edition this year, this summer. Typically they do this in the summer, so we already sort of knew this, but it has been confirmed. There is a lovely trailer video for it that is very long, but really interesting, and it actually shows off a whole bunch of stuff that has me really interested to know what we're gonna get, because the thing that was most interesting to me was new Terminators, and they are identical to the old Terminators. Just the proportions are a smidge better, and there's a little bit more detail, and that's really exciting, because in the trailer, we also see a standard box dread. Now, I am a Dreadnought connoisseur. I love all things Dreadnoughts. And so, are we going to get a new old Dreadnought? I would think we do, because we see Terminators, and we got Terminators. We see a classic box dread. Are we going to get a classic box dread? That is probably the thing I am most excited for. But I'm feeling happy. Let's talk about the thing that I really didn't like that much. We got the reveal of the Gallo Fall box, the Kill Team box. What I wanted more than anything was Blood Angels Assault Terminators with their Teleport Homer versus the brand new Tyranid Genestealers. And we didn't get it. I had been hearing rumors that I had been kind of ignoring over the past couple of weeks that it was going to be Leagues of Votann versus Beastmen. And it is Leagues of Votann versus Beastmen. And to some people out there, Beastmen fans are rejoicing, because it is kind of awesome. Although if you are into Blackstone Fortress, you already have a bunch of Beastmen miniatures that are identical to these new ones coming out. But I don't know. I don't really like the Beastmen. I think I could have liked the Beastmen, though. I would have really liked the Beastmen if they felt very 40k. Like if they had tubes and armor and a little bit of sci-fi going on, but they are just classic Warhammer Fantasy Battles Beastmen with some chain. One of them's got a chainsword. That's how science fiction they get. And for some people, that's just great. But for me, no. I don't know. I'm not really a fan. The Leagues of Votann are cool. I've already put together some Leagues of Votann, and it's going to be more of the normal Hearthkin warriors. A couple of cool pieces. One of them is going to have a jetpack, which is a lot of fun, so that he can jetpack quicker through the close confines of the Gallodark. I'm sure he'll just have better movement. Perhaps movement 8, just like the Kroot Hounds. That would be kind of interesting to see out of a Votann unit. But other than that, man, I don't care about the Beastmen or the Votann, really. I'm glad they're a part of Kill Team, but man, I don't know. It just seems kind of like a lackluster box to me. They did show off some really cool terrain. I haven't really cared about any of the Into the Dark terrain, other than just the fact that it exists and it's the close confines, kind of a Zone Mortalis style of gameplay, which is really, really cool. But each of the unique terrain pieces haven't really done much for me. But the new terrain piece is a drop pod, or I guess an escape pod bay. That seems really neat. Like, can I just hop a guy into an escape pod and then just vanish? Like, that would seem like a really, really cool mechanic that would lead to a lot of really fun gameplay. But I don't know. I'm pretty bummed out about Gallowfall, and I think I would have gone away from the preview feeling really, really down if we didn't get some really juicy tidbits about Warhammer 40k 10th edition. But real quick, just shotgunning through some of the other miniatures they showed off. New Soul Reaper Boner Boy dude. It looks pretty darn good. New Vampire Lady, really like it. It's kind of like a Russian vampire werewolf sort of thing going on. I really like that model. The new Seraphon miniatures are wonderful. The new Croxagores, the big, just muscly alligator guys, are so cool. I was absolutely right when I said that these Skink Riders were riding scary, but not necessarily strong-looking creatures. Like, they didn't look like velociraptors, and so I was wondering if they were waiting to use a scarier, more ferocious looking dinosaur for the Saurus Warriors, and I was 100% right. The Saurus Warriors are riding very aggressive, mean looking velociraptor style creatures, and that is exactly what I'm looking for. Seraphon looks unbelievably good. I wanted to play Seraphon when it was all the old models, and now that the models have been updated and are looking unbelievably good, I am really, really looking forward to it. Oh my goodness, is it going to be pricey? But man, I am ready for a Seraphon Age of Sigmar army. Now, Warhammer 40k. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I almost forgot about the most exciting preview. There is a book with some rules in it and a little bit of lore coming to Horus Heresy. I get it. It's a cool thing for the Horus Heresy. I know everybody liked the red and black books, and I'm very happy for those players that they have something interesting. But man, could I not muster up a lot of excitement and applause for a 2-minute video about a book coming out. It was great. But okay, Warhammer 40k 10th edition. It looks pretty awesome. My favorite thing in the whole world was Warhammer 40k 8th edition early in the indexes. Nick and I pre-ordered all of the indexes so that we would have every single rule. I read on the day one of launch, I read every single rule that existed for all of Warhammer 40,000, and it felt amazing to actually know everything. I played 6th edition, I played 7th edition. I never really felt like I had a true grasp of the rules. But 8th edition, I knew every single thing about Warhammer 40k, and it looks like they're gearing up to do a very similar thing with Warhammer 40,000 10th edition. No big rule book. I would bet they will sell one, but all of the rules will be available online at launch, including all of the army rules for each unit in the form of indexes, but like indexes online, so you just download what you need. I love it so unbelievably much. It'll be crazy to go through a Warhammer edition without codexes, and I assume there must be something, unless Games Workshop is so incredibly confident, because really that's what the books are. The codexes, the campaign books, all of these supplemental materials are just kind of a lack of confidence in being able to make up the lost revenue of not publishing those because they suck. Like, Games Workshop they did a decent job with the 9th edition codexes, but like, they just reworded all the lore and then wrote all the rules. Like, they weren't, each codex isn't an amazing update upon the last one. It's really just the exact same thing with a new coat of paint that you have to pay $50 for. And we do. So I am really kind of excited for Games Workshop to finally stop doing that, stop demanding all of that money from us so that we can actually get the rules to actually play the game, because it seems like they have enough confidence that enough people will just buy the miniatures that they don't have to gouge us players with a whole bunch of meaningless garbage. So good on you, Games Workshop. I am really, really looking forward to that. They gave a brief explanation of what some things were going to be easier to understand, some things are going to be simplified, and I love that. They talk specifically about stratagems and how you will never have to keep track of more than 6 at a time for your army, which is lovely, because I think Necrons had something like 40, and that's too many. I can't remember 40 things. Really, 6 is kind of pushing it, but I'll take 6. But yeah, that was really, really exciting. It seems like they have completely overhauled list building, and I'm very interested to see exactly. I don't know if I got a full understanding from the preview, but it does seem like it's going to be a very simplified army list building, which is really, really good. I do miss 6th and 7th edition list building, although it did lead to a lot of weirdness. Like, you got to take your HQ, 2 troops, and you can then fill up your fast attack, elites, and heavy support. Oh, and by the way, there's other weird things called Lords of War and the Flyers and Transports, and they don't really fit into these categories very well. Oh, and by the way, every single model we come out with is just going into the elite slot because we can't figure out how to balance them into the other slots. Like, yeah, it was a problem. There's a reason that we're no longer in 6th or 7th edition Warhammer 40k. But I am really looking forward to the new version of list building, because that is probably the most intimidating thing in all of 8th edition, which is really, really annoying because it's the thing you have to do before you actually get to play the game. So you really can't sit down and play the game if you don't do list building. So all in all, I was going into the live announcements thing thinking like this is gonna be pretty lame, pretty boring. It's probably gonna be a fairly similar experience to just watching the Twitch stream. But I was very, very pleasantly surprised by just the production of it, and I was also pleasantly surprised about all of the things they showed off. I don't think that there was anything, you know what, even the 30k book, I'll give a pass to. It was a really, really fun collection of miniatures and things being shown off. And sure, Games Workshop didn't go with my idea for Gallowfall, and so I am going to hex them and wish nothing but ill upon them because they didn't take my idea. No, it's fine. And some people, I mean, I know there are some Beastman fans out there who are going to be absolutely all over this box. Not me, though. I don't really like the Beastmen. I think they're kind of lame. We'll see. But it was actually a really, really fun time. They did this really cute thing after they showed off most of the previews that like we all kind of expected, where they opened it up for Q&A and a bunch of people left because they thought it was over. And then once somebody asked about Warhammer 40k 10th edition, then they got into it and they played the videos and all of the announcements and releases for that. So really, really cute, fun thing to do. And it was actually a lot of fun. I had a really, really good time. And you know how you could have a really good time? That's right, the Eons of Battle Patreon. Over there, we make new STL terrain packs every single month. This month, we have the Starship Bridge, a grim, dark spaceship interior full of rivets and stained glass windows. We also make one extra episode of Eons of Battle every single week, where we take a look at our viewers' miniatures and give them some ideas and critiques of how to improve their painting. We also host live Discord hangouts, and we have a tier where you can get your name on one of my Black Templar Space Marines, and you can join the Immortal Crusade. Ooh, speaking of the Immortal Crusade, I don't know how this slipped my mind. A Primarch came back. The Lion, Lionel Johnson. I'm pulling the same trick on you guys that the Games Workshop pulled on me, where everybody who clicked off this video when I went into our Patreon ad now don't get to hear me talk about the Lion. It looks amazing. Lionel Johnson looks fantastic. Apparently he's going to be fighting Angron. Who would have guessed that? And Angron, of course, stands for Angry and Ron. But he looks so, so good. And so unbelievably better than Gilliman. I want to like Gilliman. I like Gilliman. I really liked him in Gathering Storm and Psychic Awakening. He's a cool character, and it's really interesting to have him back in the Warhammer 40k universe with his 30k sensibilities. But his model just looks like a Power Rangers toy. I mean, man, I am not really a fan. I think he's a cool character, but I think he kind of got done dirty, both in his 30k Forge World version and in the Games Workshop Plastic, but the Lion looks absolutely phenomenal. I really, really like it, and I'm really excited to see another Primarch, and a Primarch who's not quite as goody two-shoes as Gilliman come back to the setting, and to see how they're going to clash, because Yeah, the Lion and the Dark Angels have kind of a history of, you know, some secrecies, a little bit of rebellion, a little bit of half of the chapter turning heretic and then being chased down as the Fallen. Like, there's a lot of really, really interesting ways they can take it. I really, really am enjoying the expanding narrative of Warhammer 40,000. I think they're doing a very good job of giving us a little bit of new while not really changing anything, which I think is absolutely fine. The Lion gets a huge thumbs up for me, and so do all of you guys for watching this. Bye.